Good afternoon, and how the heck are you? Let's talk about adventure motorcycle tires, some of the most important things on your motorcycle. I've got the Pirelli Scorpion MT90s on my Himalayan here, and we have put them through quite the test over the last 7,500 miles. Do you know the Scorpions were designed very specifically to handle all terrains, on-road and off-road the same, including in wet, muddy conditions, and they've done pretty well. But the question today is, after riding 7,500 miles on almost every surface you could think of, did the Pirelli MT90s hold up to one of the best adventure tires on the market? As most of you probably already know, one of the major challenges of an adventure tire is holding up on tarmac and paved roads, wet or dry, and then getting into the dirts, the mud, the river crossings, everything else, and having something that's going to perform both ways. The Pirelli MT90s, they did extremely well on just about everything. Let's talk about it. On different adventures, from the Trans-America Trail on the East Coast, Smoky Mountain 500, Georgia Traverse, SCAR South Carolina adventure routes, Mid-Atlantic BDR, all these different adventures, river crossing, mud, the famous Georgia clay, if you're not familiar. I've put these things to the test, and they've done really, really well in some conditions, great in others. Now to the tire itself. One thing you might be saying, if you're familiar with the MT90s, is it's a 60/40 tire, John. And I get that. This thing has constantly outperformed its rating almost everywhere. From the Sonoran and Mojave Desert, when I was doing some rock crawling, thick sand on Jeep trails, to the Georgia Traverse after torrential rain, which was a lot of fun. Really thick, muddy, soupy Georgia clay. Very deep river crossings at the time, the Smoky Mountain 500 with its famous river crossings, and the Trans-America Trail around the Tennessee area with kind of baby heads and a lot of whoops and stuff in it. And then just recently I got off the Mid-Atlantic BDR, and these things have done everything that I'm looking to do. Really don't have much for complaints. They have constantly outperformed their rating at every turn. It's the adventure tire that would not quit. How about tread and wear? So at about 7,500 miles right now, or just over, the front tire I'll show you here, and the rear tire I'll show you here. So there's definitely some more miles on it. The front tire, a lot of miles. The rear tire, not as many. The first 7,000 miles, it wore really even on the back tire. You can see the last 500, a little separation there. See if I can bring you in there. So at 7,500 miles, that back tire maybe has about 1,000, maybe 1,500 miles left on it. The front tire is a little different. The tread was extremely even at 7,000, and I don't know if this will really come through. See, that tread is still extremely even at 7,500 miles. The fronts definitely have a good bit of mileage left on there, but they've just continually performed. So are they the perfect adventure tires? Let me cover a few things. At the 60/40 rating that I've talked about, you're going to think there's a lot of limitations there. Much to my surprise, the main item when I went down to the Mojave Desert and took it through a 27-mile Jeep trail, through some rock crawling up and down, but mostly the baby heads rocks and the unbelievable thick sand for mile after mile after mile. They performed outstanding. Some of my skills might have limited that as well. Through the river crossings, extremely deep on the Georgia Traverse, and sorry, it's really hot out here in South Carolina right now, and the Georgia clay. If you're not familiar with Georgia, Alabama clay, and especially my own fault, I went after 5 days of rain. The mud was so thick and slippery I could barely walk through it. These tires did outstanding for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles. They only may have mudded out once. Also, I kind of made an air. They always say the best line is the line you're already in. Extremely muddy section. Looked a little bit better in the center. So I changed my line leaning in to get over there. Me changing my lean angle and the tire possibly mudding out did take me down. But other than that, it's outstanding how well they performed in thick mud, river crossings, rocks, and everything else. I'm outstandingly surprised. That being said, Being a 60/40 tire, my next adventures are going to be the Northeast BDR, and then back down to the Alabama and Kentucky adventure routes. I personally am going to change to a more aggressive 30% road, 70% off-road. These are 60% road, 40% off-road, and have performed like the strongest 70/30 tire out there, like a true knobby tire. It is unbelievable how well these have performed. With that performance and the mix of what it gives you on the road, on tarmac and pavement, in wet conditions, cornering, leaning, these things are epic. I would always recommend these, and I will be back to another pair of these down the line without a doubt. It is amazing the comfort they give you on road as well. So it's up for each and every. I know tires on adventure bikes are kind of a personal and controversial thing. I would never shy away from these Pirelli Scorpions in the MT90s. They have done fantastic, outperforming themselves literally at every corner. It's crazy how well these things have performed because I have put them through a heavier test and crazier situations than they're probably even made for, and they've come out with an A+ grade. But the main thing is I want to hear from you. Comment below if you've had the MT90s or any Pirelli Scorpions on your bike. Did you like them? What are your thoughts? But if not, comment below, what is your favorite adventure tire? I'm definitely gonna be making some changes. I like to try new things out. And I'd love to hear your experiences with what tires you're using, good or bad, and if I should give them a try or at least consider them. That is gonna lead me to probably my new tire for next year, but for now I'm gonna keep riding these Pirellis because they just keep performing. Guys, I appreciate you watching the video. If you want more adventure reviews and product reviews, gear reviews, you can link up here. Watch some more videos on that and my adventure trips. Have a fantastic night. Keep adventuring, and we'll see you on the next video.